In this video, we will talk about why it's urgent, especially to act in 2024, to receive parental allowance next year. Here's why. Really important, especially for people with a household income of more than 175,000 euros. Because if you and your spouse together earn 175 in 2024 and your child is born 1st of April 2025 or later, you're not eligible anymore for parental allowance. I don't want to become political here. I have a special opinion here why I think it's not fair, but this is something else. So now, how can you optimize your situation that you are still eligible to receive this parental allowance, which might be something around 2,500 euros every month if you or your spouse is not working. Depends on who's taking care of the new baby. Okay? So what's important here, 175 is not your gross income. The limit is 175 taxable income. And this gives us some opportunities to even be eligible for parental allowance, even if you are earning 175 or more. So what do you do? Well, first of all, let me explain taxable income. You have your gross salary, so let's say one of you 100,000 and the other one 80,000. Just as an example. So what can you do now? Well, you reduce your taxable income by producing intelligent costs in 2024. So let's say you produce intelligent costs of 10,000 euros each. So minus 10,000 euros on both sides. So now your taxable income here is 90. Your taxable income here is 70. So now in total, you have 160,000 euros taxable income. And you still receive the parental allowance here. Really important, because we're talking about, not quite sure what's the limit here, but I guess something around 2,500 is the maximum you can receive as Elterngeld, as parental allowance, depends on your income. Okay, but this is the maximum. So what are these intelligent costs? So obviously, if you would like to save taxes, you could create some income-related expenses, okay? Income-related expenses. So you could buy a laptop if necessary, and well, if it's not necessary actually also, because if you receive 2,500 euros more every month, it might pay off for itself. You could buy an online course, you could invest in your education, and so on. These are income-related expenses. But if you don't need these expenses here, it's often, yeah, you save money, but actually you don't need a new laptop. What you could do, for example, are intelligent investments, for example. So what you could do is you invest in a tax-optimized investment plan, because this is something you should do anyway. Now your contribution here is entirely tax deductible. So let's say you contribute 800 euros per month. You invest that money. Before you end up losing 2,500 euros per month, you just invest 800 euros, for example. So it's also beneficial for you. You invest 800 euros. You reduce your taxable income. These 800 euros are fully tax deductible. So you also receive, depends on your tax rate, let's say 42% back with your tax declaration, back on your bank account, which also still gives you flexibility, and still you're eligible for any parental allowance. Obviously, you could also buy real estate, for example, which would also reduce your taxable income. And obviously other things might make sense to send money back home, maintenance if you're eligible, and many other things to reduce your taxable income. Because in the end, we're talking about 2,500 euros that you lose for 1 year. And this is a lot of money because we're talking about 30,000 euros gone if you don't act this year. If you are in that income situation, or you might be in that income situation this year. Okay, so also if you're not having 175 now, but you might receive a raise, or your spouse might receive a raise, then you should definitely act now. Because otherwise, let's highlight it again, you would lose 2,500 euros. Okay? The biggest problem here is that most of the people start thinking about their tax declaration when the year is already over. So they consider their income situation for 2024 in 2025. But in 2025, it's already too late because you can't produce any costs. So it's really important to act now to make an intelligent plan if you are planning to have children next year. And even if you're not quite sure, but you might have children next year, then you should also consider preparing a proper solution so you're still eligible for parental allowance. If you would like to have help creating such a strategy so you're still eligible to receive that money, feel free to register for a free initial consultation, and we will find out together what's the most appropriate solution for you. Talk to you soon.